welcome back. Today we're going to start off thinking about verbs. So can you tell me what a verb is? Okay, verbs are words which describe an action, an occurrence or a state. Okay, so it's something that somebody is doing. Okay, now I would like you to pause the video now and make a list of as many verbs as you can think of. Don't spend too long on it though, give yourself maybe no longer than a minute. Make a list of as many as you can. Now, can you spot the verbs in these sentences here? The first one we've got, the ice cream is melting. Did you get the verb? The verb is melting. Well done. What about this one over here? The snowman wears a hat. What's the verb in this sentence? Wears. Well done. Okay, super. Now, today we are going to be focusing on a particular type of verb. We are going to be looking at imperative verbs, and these are sometimes known as bossy verbs. They tell people what to do, okay? And they're often seen at the beginning of a sentence and they create a command sentence. So let's see if you can spot the imperative verbs in these sentences. The first one we've got eat your lunch. What's the imperative verb in that sentence? Eat. Well done. Next we've got tidy the cloakroom. The imperative verb is tidy. Well done. Write today's date. The imperative verb is write. Well done. And lastly we've got walk home after school. What's the imperative verb in that sentence? Walk. Well done. Okay. So now I would like you to have a look at these sentences in your pack. There are 10 sentences and you need to choose an imperative verb to go in each of these sentences to make sure that they make sense. So don't write something silly, okay? So the first one here we've got a line with a ruler. Now think about what you might do with a ruler and a line, okay? So don't write walk, okay, because that wouldn't make sense. So think about which imperative verbs could go into these command sentences. So pause the video now and then come back. Okay, well done for completing that activity. I want you to think now where we might find imperative verbs. What text might you find an imperative verb in? Pause the video and have a little think. Where might you see some imperative verbs? Okay, we might see them in some persuasive adverts. Okay, an advert might be telling you to buy these trainers now. Okay, that is a command. The imperative verb is buy. Imperative verbs are usually in sets of instructions or recipes. Okay, it might say mix the ingredients together or chop the onion. Yep, so it's going to be giving those commands to people reading the recipe. They could also be in a conversation as well between people. So today we are going to write a recipe and we're going to be using those imperative verbs in our recipe. Now, as well as the imperative verbs, have a think, what else do we need to include in a recipe? Pause the video if you would like a little bit of time to think about this. So let's see what we need in a recipe. We've got an example here for rainbow fruit skewers. Now we need the title at the start of the recipe so that the reader knows what they are actually making. Okay. Some recipes as well also have a short introduction about the recipe. Now this one says, have you ever been craving a sweet treat but you want to be healthy? Try these tasty fruit skewers. Not only are they amazing to look at, but they taste phenomenal too. You could also try them with a yummy yogurt dip as well, or a small amount of chocolate. Okay, so that just gives the reader some information about what they are going to be making. In a recipe as well, the reader also needs a list of things that they are going to need. This includes the ingredients that they're going to need. Now for the fruit skewers, there are only a few ingredients, but if you are making something like a cake or a lasagna, you are going to need lots more ingredients. Okay, as well as the ingredients, it includes the equipment. So a wooden skewer, knife, and a surface to prepare the fruit. Okay. Then a recipe also, of course, needs to include the steps that are needed to make the food. Okay. So I'm going to read this, see if you can spot the imperative verbs within these sentences. First, ensure your hands are clean and wash the strawberries, blueberries and grapes. Next, prepare the fruit. Slice the strawberries in half and cut the banana into slices. Peel the orange and break it up into segments, then cut the grapes in half. Now you are ready to put the fruit onto the skewer. Put the fruit onto the skewer in this order as it will look like a rainbow. Strawberry, orange, banana, green grape, blueberry, red grape, raspberry. Now you are ready to enjoy your healthy snack. Did you spot all of the imperative verbs? I think there were about 10 in there, so see if you can spot them if you've not already. Now, you are going to be writing your own recipe. Now, it can be for something that you maybe have made at home during when school has been closed, or if you are stuck of thinking of something, you could go on YouTube and have a look at a recipe for something, and then you could write it in your pack. Okay, so pause the video now and write down your ideas. There is space for you in your home learning pack to write down some of your ideas. You might want to write down some of the equipment that's needed, maybe the ingredients. Okay, so give yourself some time to think of your ideas. Okay, now you've got your ideas, you are ready to write your recipe. Now make sure that your recipe is clear and easy to follow, and make sure that it includes those imperative verbs. Once you've finished, make sure to send it to me and I will have a look and maybe make some of the things that you send me. Well done, guys.